Next time on a very spooky fine dining podcast, the season 1 finale, TGI Fridays the 13th. Oh, you betcha, pineapple's gonna hit the fan as Michael's son Juicy, or in this episode, Juice's son Voorhees, goes on a murderous rampage, and no one is safe. It gets real spooky, it gets real bloody, and not everyone's gonna make it to the end of the episode. Who will live, who will die? Listen to Fine Dining, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America, break down a trip to TGI Fridays based on the atmosphere, the service, and the food, and try not to be scared to death. Hear the thrilling finale of Fine Dining, Wednesday, October 25th, wherever you get your podcasts.
We wish you a happy Christmas. Before they make it illegal, this is Harriet Langley-Swindon, and this is Non-Censored. Hello and welcome to Non-Censored, which takes the best bits from my weekly, very popular, very real radio show. But this is a rather special episode. It is our Christmas episode, so I'm joined in the studio with, as always, producer Martin. Hello, producer Martin.
Ho, ho, ho. It's a pleasure to be here, Harriet. I'm feeling Christmassy already. I can see everyone, well, no one's actually wearing a Christmas jumper, but, in spirit, I think there's a lot of, jingle bells in the background of my mind anyway.
Yep, okay, that's enough. And Eshaan Akbar. Hello, Eshaan.
Happy holidays to you and yours.
Happy holidays. And very special guest, Nadine Dorries joins us. Hello, Nadine.
Hi, it's actually Lord Nadine Dorries, thank you.
Oh, of course, Lord Nadine. Absolutely wonderful. Now, in this very special festive episode, we thought what we'd do is we'd go through the year because it's been a hell of a year. I mean, so much has happened. And I think it'd be just great if we go through it, we reminisce about all the fun times and just have a jolly look back, really. I think what we're starting with, if we cast back to the beginning of the year, I don't know if you even remember this, but do you remember Partygate?
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that used to be a thing?
Oh, was that when the Queen had been alive for 50 years on a crown? Is that?
No, that was the Jubilee, I think. That was the Partygate.
Something different.
Yes.
Okay.
Less of a celebration. It certainly was a celebration, but in my opinion, a celebration of death.
Well, I mean, it was just a bunch of colleagues having a lovely time during a stressful period.
Yes, I think we look back at it now. We all realise it was a fuss about nothing.
Absolutely. I mean, why can't you go to the gardens of Downing Street and have a lovely old chin wag with your mates?
I didn't know fun at work was illegal.
Exactly. Are we not allowed to have fun now? I mean,
Apparently
that's what
not.
happened.
We have so much fun on this podcast, don't we?
Yes.
I think every week.
Oh, we did, didn't we? With those little drinks.
I, along with many members of the British public, hadn't seen their loved ones in quite some time.
Maybe they didn't want to see you. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever think your loved ones didn't want to see you?
Point.
I get it. It's all very sad. People were very sad, blah, blah, blah. But also, if we're looking at people like Nadine, people who worked in government.
Lord Dorries.
Lord Nadine.
Yeah.
Is Nadine, you can speak for this. You worked incredibly hard, and people like you worked incredibly hard.
I did. And Martin, maybe if you wanted to see your loved ones, you should have had a party.
That's a really good point. That is a very good point.
Parties are a good way to get people together.
I think the point is that we weren't allowed to have parties, and they were having parties. So it was one rule for them and another
Yes.
Martin.
No, that's
the
it.
rest of us.
Yes. And that's good. Why do you think we do this job? It's to have a party. It's a lot of fun and it's really good.
The thing
And
is,
you're
if
welcome.
if you set the rules, actually, you should be allowed, as the rule setter, to decide how much of the rules you adhere to. That's the whole point of being the rule setter. So I think it's absolutely fine.
I think if you're being the banker in Monopoly, then you're not allowed to just siphon off a little bit of extra cash.
Yes, you
or
are.
give yourself
No,
a
you
couple
are.
of extra
I think
houses.
I think you can. I think you can do that.
You literally can do.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's absolutely fine.
You can do it in real life too,
100%.
trust me.
100%.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
One for you, two for me.
Also, I mean, if we're going to link this to current events, I mean, everyone was so upset at Matt Hancock for having that little smooch. But now we've seen that he can eat a camel's penis and we go, actually, it's all fine.
He really is a celebrity. Keep him in the jungle.
Yes, exactly.
He absolutely is.
Exactly. And I think that solves all of Partygate, really.
He didn't do as well as me. I was really good when I did it.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Absolute
Well, this is it.
veteran.
I mean, politicians are celebrities. We
Yeah.
don't expect celebrities to behave a certain way. All these celebrities, like Lord Dorries and Matt Hancock and Boris Johnson, they're celebrities, and so they should be allowed to party and have a nice time. That's what I expect from my celebrities.
I think
Party and
that's-
have a good time.
I think that's exactly it.
I think the problem wasn't with the party per se. It was more the fact that there were lots of people dying and we weren't able to see them in
Martin.
But
hospital.
not at the parties, trust me.
Not at the party.
They were great. They were
Yeah.
lots of fun.
No one
No
died
one
at
was,
the
no
party.
one was
At the
dying.
parties,
Maybe calm
no.
down.
So, before we move on to February, let's not forget a very important thing happened in January. January the 31st was the second anniversary of Brexit. Absolutely
It was
wonderful.
so good, wasn't it? What did you do for your anniversary?
Oh, do you know what? I had some friends round. We had some wine. We put up some bunting, and we got some very straight bananas, and we ironed the ones that weren't.
I sang
cool.
the national anthem, the Queen version,
Oh, what's
That-
that?
yeah.
What's-
the one with the Queen in it.
Oh,
sang that one.
very retro.
Yeah.
Yes,
Beautiful.
yes. Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful rendition.
Absolutely
Sang that,
lovely.
flew my little flag.
Did you?
Yeah, had my little flag outside in the front garden.
Do you know what I did for the Brexit anniversary? I made a little display from the plant of Brexit, which is pampas grass. Did you know that?
Oh,
Something I put in place.
what is a pampas grass?
You ever seen them in the garden in the 80s when everything was better? Well, I've got them and I put them in a display in my house to celebrate the second anniversary of Brexit. And I made them the patron plant of Brexit. I did that. That was me as Minister of Digital Cultures and Sports and Media. And did I do something to do with them? Yes, I did. That's what I did. And I did the plant thing.
Did
Okay,
you put the plant in front of a picture of the Queen?
Yes, well, it would have been anyway because I've got one on every.
Now I'm going to move on.
Majesty.
Sorry, to Ukraine now. This was
Here we go.
obviously very grave. Russia invaded Ukraine,
Boo.
and we as a country, I think, have a lot to be proud of here. Nadine, take us through
I'm
it.
so excited.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a war and Russia said, we're going to fight you, Ukraine, and you can't spell Ukraine without UK. So who got involved? Queen of Hearts, Boris Johnson, got involved and won the
Yes,
war.
he did.
Congratulations.
Well
You're
done,
welcome.
Boris
You're
Johnson.
welcome.
Where was the clapping for him? I mean,
I know. Well, he doesn't ask for it because he hasn't got an ego like nurses.
I think it's fair to say that the war in Ukraine is still an ongoing matter. That those perhaps it would just...
we won. Yes, because he's not in charge anymore. Because he got stabbed in the back and the front by nasty little snakes.
Also, can we take a moment to appreciate Britain's response in housing hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of Ukrainians?
we've
who
done
needed our
such
support.
good.
They needed our
It's really
support.
nice because they look just like us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they look
Culturally.
I mean, Poland did house millions. It was so that
All
was...
right,
So
Martin,
they-
it's not
so
a competition.
No.
So they say.
Okay.
Also,
How do they didn't inflate the figures? You know what the polls are like.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. I don't.
Martin,
think that will
I just think, let's be proud of our country. And I
Yeah.
don't like this whole thing where we've always got to be down on our country. There's all this hatred now for Britain, and we've done some wonderful things. And one of
Yes.
them was win the war in Ukraine.
yeah.
Well,
Yes, you're welcome.
So, yeah,
I
thank you,
think
Lord
we
Nadine.
we certainly can be proud of the support, both military and the aid that we've given. But I think it is dangerous to think.
AIDS?
No, just the support.
The aid. Oh,
Yes, medical.
It was
and
good.
whatnot,
Cream were good,
but-
weren't they? Do you remember?
yes.
They
Oh,
did
yes.
a
I
whole
do.
set and it was legendary.
Yes. So, moving on. In March, Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe was finally
Sorry, do you want
released.
to say the name again? Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe.
That's what I said, isn't it?
Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe.
It was just very
That is
confident,
what I
wasn't it,
said.
when it-
Or as they say,
I don't know. I
as they
felt like
say
you were
in
trying to-
Farsi.
No, you were trying.
Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe.
I felt like you were trying to back me into a corner there, and I didn't appreciate it. And I thought we were better than that. Anyway, she got released thanks to the strong work.
And they say Iranians don't support women.
Well,
Don't know what you're talking
I
about.
don't
Can we
think-
please celebrate what really happened, which was Boris Johnson did it again. Good for him and
Yes,
good
he
for
did.
her.
Yeah.
And maybe she should be a little bit more grateful.
We all
wasn't-
miss calls, don't
That's
we? He
the
missed-
thing. She wasn't very grateful.
No.
I mean, she criticised the fact that because he said something, she ended up having to be in prison a year or two longer.
Yeah.
You know, and
You've got shelter over you. They bring food every day.
It's like a holiday camp. She probably had a Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah, probably.
absolutely
I
unbelievable.
don't
I mean,
think we can
just not
say
patriotic.
that she had a Sega Mega Drive. I
She
don't
did.
think
She
that's-
There was all this
Probably
nonsense.
did actually, Martin.
Well,
There was all this nonsense about how Boris Johnson, when he was Foreign Secretary, missed all these telephone calls to help with the negotiation. I mean, he's Foreign Secretary, for goodness sake. He's busy.
Yes.
Yes.
I miss calls all the time.
Exactly. He's a busy man.
Sometimes I'm asleep and someone calls me and I don't answer. Is that a crime now?
I don't think
Is it a
anyone's
crime,
saying
Martin?
that sleeping
Is it
and
a
missing calls
crime?
is crime.
There is a way. If you do want to not miss certain people's calls. You
Yes.
can actually set specific ringtones for that person. So
But what if I'm asleep?
what you can do is, for when you're sleeping, if there is a particular person whose call you want to answer, for example, mine might be, I don't know, Jane, you set a very specific,
that's-
well-known ringtone.
No.
Come on, we
I've
don't
gone
need
for
to talk
Barbie girl.
about my sister anymore.
Barbie girl.
Yeah.
There's nothing like she does. She doesn't. You don't have to answer phone calls when you're
I
asleep.
know.
I think no one's
I know.
actually asking you to do
Good.
that. It's-
But that's the point,
That's
isn't
what
it?
I'm saying.
Also, because the time difference is probably different over there. So probably
The time difference
poor
probably is
Boris
different over there.
Johnson. Yes,
You're right.
Yes, it is. So probably poor Boris Johnson was getting these calls about Nazanin when he was asleep, and suddenly now he's been held accountable for not
Also,
doing his job
he's been
properly.
having all those parties. He was tired. Grow
And
up.
also, Nazanin
Exactly.
Zaghari Ratcliffe, if you really want to claim that you're British, at the very least, when you're released, say thank you. You know,
Yes,
when
so say thank you.
Britain ended colonialism, when Britain ended slavery, do you know what they did? They said thank you.
Yes, they did.
It's a
No,
very good British
it's
thing
a good,
to do.
It's a good point, Martin. It's a good point.
Just say thank you.
we did, we did stop slavery in this country, and I
Yes.
don't think that's talked about enough.
I don't think it is, actually.
Too much. It's like, oh no, but you started it. I'm sorry, not relevant. Not relevant.
The most important thing is who ends it.
You end it. We ended it.
Yes.
You know.
And you know what? I'd end it again, maybe.
Yeah, I think you should.
Well, that yes, I mean that is commendable. I suppose if
Thank
you would do it again.
Now, moving on, March 29th was, of course, the anniversary of the activation of Article 50. Yes. Oh, I mean,
What a great article.
What a Brexit bugle.
what a great time.
Wave your pampas grass.
Yes. Oh, did you celebrate this one at all, Eshaan?
Yes, I read the first 49 articles.
Did you? What did you make of it?
Oh, it was very, very interesting. And made
Is there one about spicing things up in the bedroom?
article number 7,
That's
actually.
good, that's
yeah,
a
it's a
good
very good,
article.
spicy article. That.
Really,
Yeah.
really. The seventh article.
Yeah.
The saucy one.
Yeah.
Saucy 7, they call it.
Oh my goodness! I mean, you just look back, don't you, and you think about. Oh, I mean, it's just wonderful. What did you do, Martin?
I think I was working.
Oh, that's really bad. You shouldn't. You should take the day off to celebrate and respect it. I had a special Article 50 dinner to celebrate Brexit, put some salad cream on an iceberg lettuce.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh,
How many items of food did you have on this Article 50 dinner?
50 items.
50 items, of course.
Yes. There's egg and cress, soft scoop walls,
Yes.
Yes.
and 46 other things.
Spam.
Yes.
Good British items.
Frozen pizza.
Without wanting to cause
Baked beans.
a scene here.
little sausages in a tin.
Spaghetti hoops.
Yes,
Can-
spaghetti hoops.
Could any of you
Smiley
Custard
potato man.
creams.
Yes.
could any of you name any
Bourbons.
Bourbons, yeah.
discernible?
Oh, lovely
Nice
bourbon.
biscuits. Nice biscuits.
Licorice all sorts.
Could you name
Chocolate
any?
digestives.
Mushy
Spangles.
peas.
Okay, we're just naming.
Spangles can be back
foodstuffs
now, can't they?
Yes.
Oh, they can.
Fish.
There we can.
And chips.
This is going to be a
Yes,
nightmare
and that's
to
2
edit.
items.
That's 2 items.
2 items.
It'll be quite
Shepherd's
easy to
pie.
edit, actually, I'll just chop out 20 minutes in the middle. I suppose.
Cottage pie.
Yeah, they're all...
Could any of you name any
Polo
discernible
mints. Polo
benefits
Freddos.
from Brexit?
Remember to consider what?
Well, we've had these things before, and we continue to have them. I mean,
Fizzy cola bottles.
You're welcome.
they're delicious.
You're welcome.
Now, everybody, in April was the fixed penalty notices.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody had to pay
FPN.
£50 just for having fun. And it was a £50 fine. And do you know why they call it that? Because it's absolutely fine to have fun.
Yeah.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Fixed penalty notices, more like fun penalty notices, am I
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Absolute fun, please.
Do you think it is a good thing that our Prime Minister, current, and of course Boris Johnson himself as well, both received these
And
fines?
it says that's fine.
I think
Broke the
if you
rules.
fine Boris, not ideal, but you can't then fine Rishi Sunak because that is a hate crime.
Oh, interesting, really. Well, I mean, so Eshaan does know about these things. He is the diversity hire.
Yes.
So please explain more about
You can't fine an ethnic minority because
Right.
they've already been fined because of the cards they've been dealt by
No,
virtue
come
of
on.
being ethnic
No,
minority.
sorry, Eshaan.
So
sorry,
you can't
no. We're not a
fine
racist.
him.
No, we're not a racist country. Okay.
Well, yes, of course.
They
Which is why
found
if
there
you-
wasn't any.
But if you
The
find
Conservative Party did an investigation and
Yeah,
found
there
they
was
was
no
there's no
racism.
racism, right?
No
But that's
racism.
what I mean. So if you fine him, that is racist. You can't fine Rishi Sunak.
Is that how it works?
100%. You
I
can't.
heard that they just donated his money to a nice sanctuary for animals that we all like.
And let's not forget that Boris Johnson was ambushed by cake. He was having fun, but also it was fun imposed on him.
Have you ever been ambushed by cake, Martin?
I received a small cake.
Oh, I see. It's all right for you.
Yes,
fairy
it was.
cake,
So
just
it's
a
one
small-
rule for you and one rule for them, it
Well,
seems,
no,
doesn't it?
I mean,
That's what it seems to me.
Exactly.
Cake is good. Maybe just eating it while surrounded by friends while other people
I like being ambushed by
dying
whipped
isn't
cream.
Do you?
Oh,
Eshaan.
This has become.
Oh, I say.
I can see where this is going. And I don't like it.
In May, everybody, it was the Grey Report. Do you remember this?
Oh.
Remember the
Oh,
Grey Report?
she hates fun. She hates fun the most.
Yes.
Of course, her name's Gray, for goodness sake.
Yes. Also, I'm sorry, but the report, in the end, it didn't count because actually we were waiting to hear from the police. And
Yes.
I believe the police said it was all fine, didn't they?
Yes, and that's why it's called fine.
And also-
I actually sent So Grey a textual message and it said, "Oh, I see. Somebody hates fun. Look it up. It's spelled
Yes.
F-U-N, but I accidentally did a typo and said F-J-N. But she knew what I meant, and that's the important thing.
Fidget.
Yeah.
She said, "Grow up, Nadine," which is how I know I won the argument.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And also,
you showed
I
that.
can't take that report seriously because if you know a good inquiry or report about government behaviour takes years. Remember the Chilcot inquiry?
Yes.
It should take at least 5 years
Yes, it should be really, really long.
for you to draw any kind of meaningful conclusion. 6 months. Come on. Take a leaf out of Chilcot's report and take your time with these things.
Now, on June 23rd, it was, of course, very big date, very important we talk about it. It was the 6th anniversary of Brexit. Oh, wonderful.
Precious
so
memories.
exciting. How did you celebrate?
Oh, well, of course, I put on an old video of Russell Harty to think about the good old days.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
How lovely. How about you, Eshaan?
I made up signs that said Brexit
Oh, wow.
That's good. That's really good.
because it was
very
the
clever.
6th anniversary. Brexit.
Oh, Eshaan. Oh, it's very funny. Nadine, we get Eshaan in because he's so funny. He's a comedian.
Thank you.
He's a comedian. And
Just as sharp minds would think of that.
He just have these wonderful
So I
jokes.
had the number 666
Stop it.
across the top of my...
Stop it.
No, that's good.
It's too
Because it
much.
was sixth. Because it was the sixth anniversary.
It was
You
the
want to say it.
6th anniversary.
Say it 3 times. Say it 3 times.
How did you celebrate, producer
How
Martin?
did you mark the anniversary?
You let me get
Or did you
working.
even mark it at all?
Did you mark it at all?
Well, yes, I try and celebrate each day in a different special
Oh,
way.
here we go.
But how did you celebrate the 6th anniversary of Brexit? What did you do?
Well, I mean, if I recall correctly, I went for a nice walk by the pond.
Well, you're lucky that pond's still there. If it had been up to the Wokarati, it would have been filled in with people from other countries who don't even want to be here. They're just to here.
I don't think I heard anything about
Were there any foreign
Well,
objects in the pond that you took umbrage
Yeah,
to and
that's a
sent
very
back?
good point.
what, like a bit of, like maybe a bag.
Yes.
No bags in
bag, yeah.
ponds anymore because of Brexit.
Now, look, we're getting to the middle of the year, and one of the reasons why we booked you, Nadine, was to talk
Lord
about
Nadine.
the Lord Nadine. One of the reasons we booked you was to talk about the absolutely disgraceful. I still feel a bit emotional talking about it. Actually, removal of Boris Johnson. How are you feeling all these months on about it?
The pain runs deep
Yeah.
like a river,
Yeah.
baby. It was a devastating time watching all these colleagues just absolutely stab him in the back and the front and then expect that they would be welcomed by the British public. Well, they won't. There is one hero in this country and he is at the moment not the Prime Minister. Well, trust me, he'll be back. He'll be back like Lazarus.
Oh, wonderful! Absolutely.
If you were to pick out someone as the biggest snake of the bunch, who would you say that
It
was?
wouldn't be professional for me to say, but it
Right.
rhymes with Rishi Sunak.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's awful that actually the Claudius in this situation is now king, isn't it?
Yes.
That's for the Shakespeare
That
lovers.
was a very highbrow.
They'll,
Very highbrow.
Yeah.
He's actually
Thank
called
you. I am
Charles. He's
rather
actually called Charles, though. So
The thing is, I mean, he wasn't stabbed in the back without reason. It wasn't really a backstabbing. I mean, his position became untenable.
What?
Of course. Well, because I
what
mean,
are you talking about,
Well, he was
Martin?
plagued by scandal. You know, we had Chris.
You
Pincher,
better
we had-
explain yourself immediately.
Well, I mean, there was a lot going on his watch that
Like what?
just had. I mean, there was scandals with the
Name one.
Hansi Pincher. You know,
That's
taking a
just a,
pinch.
that's just a
Oh,
dirty
listen,
little rumour made up by
The Chris
Wokarati.
Pincher thing. Can we just look? There was a time in this country where your surname was your job.
That is so true.
Blacksmith,
That is such a good point.
Dorries means writer.
goldsmith,
Yes.
pincher.
Yes.
But he
What's
wasn't
wrong
being
with
paid to...
What's wrong with doing?
Langley-Swindon, Lord of Swindon.
Thank you.
Yep.
What's wrong with doing the thing that you're named after?
Well, if you're named after sexual assaults, then I'd say...
No one's called assault, are
Martin,
they?
It's just
It's-
pinching, though,
called
isn't it?
Pincher.
He's a pincher. He's not Chris Sexual Assaulter. is he?
Exactly.
Chris Pincher.
I think the
What is a
problem was
pinch?
that he was pinching people's...
You can't even name one example of anything Boris Johnson did
was-
wrong, as I expected.
Well, I mean, he covered up
It's
for...
true,
for-
Martin. You can't.
Look, Boris, his surname is Johnson. He uses Johnson.
Oh, I
Well,
don't know if
yes,
you should
I mean,
say
that
that,
is
though, Eshaan. Come on,
very
now, let's
true,
not-
actually. I can
That's
agree with you on that.
unsubstantiated rumours.
I'm so angry I can barely speak.
Suella Braverman. She's quite a brave man.
I don't know if it's brave to be xenophobic. I mean, I wouldn't do
Oh,
it personally. I
that's
wouldn't
xenophobia,
exactly.
that's
All
quite
these long words
wrong,
like
isn't it?
xylophone.
Yes, it's all-
I don't know why you're
think you're
bringing
so clever.
James Cameron's Aliens into this, actually, Martin.
It's not really what we're talking about, Nadine. I
It's
mean,
not. Culture, though,
what
it's
we're
culture.
talking about is the destruction of a good man who just wanted to bring
Bringing
our
him
country
down.
first. Yes, just bringing him down.
Well,
He won Ukraine. He got us through the pandemic. He created
made
the
a Brexit.
vaccine.
could I
He
pose?
made
Could I
Brexit.
pose a question then? What level of scandal would be enough?
How are you
to
defining
get rid
scandal?
of
What is a scandal?
of Boris Johnson?
Is it scandal though, or is it a fuss about nothing?
Yes,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
exactly. What's a scandal?
Well, I mean, I suppose it's
One man's
someone
scandal is another man's Tuesday.
acting in a. I don't know what that means, but I mean, unless you're causing scandals on a Tuesday,
He
I
can't
just
even
feel-
name one. This is honestly, it's
It's
perfect.
just Martin, who's a self-processed centrist or
I
whatever.
don't actually
And
establish
actually-
where I stand on the political
actually-
spectrum. That's not my.
He can't name anything wrong with Boris
Wasn't
Johnson.
that
So
a
I
jury
think
woman?
actually,
It's sort of paid for. You know, there's cash for access.
Oh, money's legal now, is it? It's
situation.
illegal for money.
Oh, you can't
Politics
pay
of
for
envy.
stuff.
She was helping
Listen,
with his mayoral
if you want to go to the
position.
zoo and you want to access the zoo, you've got to pay to access the zoo. So cash for access there too. No one's talking about that, are
Sounds
they?
like you've been watching a little bit too much Channel 4.
Yeah.
Martin,
Too
you know,
much.
those little things like when he tried to stick up for his friend Owen Patterson, and then everybody sort of, that was apparently a scandal. And I thought, wait, is this a scandal
Yeah.
that he is just trying
To stand up for
to
his friend.
stand up for his friend?
Yeah.
Exactly. What a nice man.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, the difference between cronyism and friendship, I suppose you could spin it in such a way that you think
No,
they're
you're
just...
just,
Can I just
you're,
say,
you're
I
just doing a
prefer-
right-click synonym.
Yes, and I prefer the
Search for
road
different words there.
friendyism. I think cronyism it's a nasty slur. And let's not use it on this podcast. We're above that here,
We are.
okay?
We don't
But
want
Naked
any
Lunch is a
racist
good
terms.
film.
Nadine, thank you so much.
You're
for
welcome,
joining
thank
us.
you.
I mean, absolutely wonderful to have
Joy.
you.
Thank
And
you.
Can't believe we have got a lord here.
oh, I know.
Yes.
Well, a lord who is now.
But my feet are on
lording
the
off.
ground.
Yeah, so humble. Before you go, is there anything you'd like to tell our listeners? Any book you want to plug?
Yes, a special Christmas edition of his Front Bench Women is going to be out this Christmas. Please buy it. It has a new chapter that I've added at the end where everything works out and Boris Johnson's Prime Minister again.
Oh, that's
it
so
sounds
beautiful.
lovely,
How
bit of
Just in
wonderful.
time for Christmas.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
And I'll see you soon. Now, you haven't heard from her from quite a while. We don't know where she's been, but she's in the studio today. Former Prime Minister Liz Truss. Hello, Liz.
Hello, do you remember me?
Yes, of course, we all
Yes,
do.
we couldn't
Some,
forget
some
you.
people forget what I achieved, but it was a lot. Hello,
I've
I'm
got the number
Martin.
53 tattooed on my arm.
Thank you.
Well,
Look who's on my right.
Oh, sat next to your friend, producer Martin.
Lisa Martin.
Do these microphones go any closer together, Martin?
Oh,
I'm only joking.
I think they're
Or am
fine.
I?
They're fine where they are. I think this is.
No, it's for now.
Now, Liz, before we talk about your reign, I mean, how do you feel? Because a lot of people have referred to it as a sort of fever dream, which isn't the most flattering thing, but just the idea that it was quick and sort of mad.
You can say that calling my 44 days as your Prime Minister a fever
Yes.
dream is not a compliment. I see it a different way. You could say that it was exciting, hot,
Yes.
and unpredictable.
Yes.
And those are all good things
Yes.
in a leadership.
I mean, that
Absolutely.
sounds really good.
That's very much how I describe my sex life.
Eshaan, I mean, you're such a naughty man. He's such a naughty man. I'm sorry, Liz.
A cheeky sense of humour
Yes.
would have been an asset to my front bench.
Yes, that's
as
very
much
true.
as I don't want to compliment Eshaan's sex life, at least it didn't sink the economy. I think that's, if you don't mind me, if that's not going too far, there are facts and figures.
Martin, that was because of Ukraine.
And also Kwasi.
And I got rid of him in a heartbeat,
Yes.
didn't I?
But look, sorry, we need to go back because we're going through the year here. And what I want to start with is the brighter days in August when it was the leadership race and you were steaming ahead. You were beating Rishi.
What people forgot so quickly was that Rishi, my opponent in the leadership race, was so appalling and unlikable that I became the front runner.
Yes.
And he really put a downer because obviously you had those debates and he said things like, oh, but Liz, if you do that, it'll crash the economy. And you just think, sorry, why?
How about wait till I actually do it?
Absolutely.
Before
Exactly,
you
wait till you do it.
criticise?
Stop being such a negative Nancy. And what I liked is you were gung-ho, you knew what you wanted to do. And also, if you don't mind me saying this, so much charisma. I mean, you blasted all
That
those
walk.
other candidates.
Your walk, powerful.
Oh, yes.
So powerful.
Such a powerful
I
walk.
have a powerful walk and a head for business and leading, and I did that for a month and a half. And a third of that time was spent following a coffin around the country which housed a queen. And that is something no other prime minister could have done.
Or has ever done or will ever do.
Exactly. I was a
Well,
pioneer.
very good point. Very good point.
I don't know how long Charles has got on the throne, to be honest.
But that's the thing, isn't it? You got a nation through mourning.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Very, very difficult.
So producer Martin brushed on it, but let's talk about Kwasi Kwarteng because you two were as thick as thieves. Now, are you still friends? What's happening?
What happened with Kwasi is he went ahead with plans that it turns out I disagreed with all along, I can now reveal. And as a result, I had to use him as a scapegoat, had to get him, he was doing harm and he had to go. And finding a new chancellor is something that most prime ministers have to do 1 to 2 times a week. I had to do that. I made the right decision. And ultimately, we are not friends, no.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You went on the hunt for a new chancellor.
There he was. He's still there now.
Yes.
And that's all down to me.
I mean, Jeremy Hunt did come in and he was sort of a bit poo-pooey about all the things you'd done, hadn't he? He sort of said, oh, we're not doing that anymore.
Yes.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, I agree. And ultimately, I am just glad I got to be Prime Minister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that
No
And
one
also,
can
I mean,
argue with that.
When you take on a new job, that's the way you make an impact, is by, saying that the last thing that the person did wasn't good. That's just the way you put your flag in the sand.
Yes.
But actually, the fact that he still remained Chancellor is to the Right Honourable Liz Truss's
It's a
credit.
testament to me.
Yes.
Liz, if you don't mind, could I ask, are you... I just
Yes,
haven't
Martin,
seen
you
this.
can ask me anything.
Oh, okay, it was about the sort of prime ministerial pension, as it were, something like just over £100,000 a year for the rest of your
That's
life.
right,
Is
Martin.
that-
I'm a moneyed woman. Does that
very-
excite
So
you?
Yes,
you
Martin.
will be accepting that. You won't be giving that back.
Martin, if you were
No sense
offered
of-
if you were offered a special prize, would you take it?
I do like special prizes.
I've got one I could offer you.
What, like
What does that?
like a Kinder
what do you mean
Surprise
by
or
that? By that, Liz.
a special...
He'll find out, won't you?
Yeah, Martin, I think you should...
And I
Sounds
don't
quite
think
fun.
you'll be turning it down.
Yeah, I think you should...
Oh,
you and Liz should...
goodness.
You and Liz should go away and... Liz, where are you living these days?
My constituency.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, very proud
Okay.
to serve the people of.
Yeah. So why don't you go with Liz to... and spend some time...
I mean, I'm a married man. I do like prizes, but I don't think
do you
I'm...
want to know a
Martin
secret?
he has a lot of work to do.
Do you want to know a secret?
You always?
When you're a backbencher, you don't have to do anything.
Well, I don't think that's true.
And
That's a
Liz,
lot of free time.
Yeah, you like
Well,
the backbench.
also, I mean, let's look at Boris Johnson. I mean, he's been on holiday the whole time he's been an MP.
It's a lot of fun being a politician.
What I want you to ask about is, well, everyone really. I mean, the big thing that happened this year was we lost our Queen. You know?
And we still miss her and all she did, which
Yes.
included extending my premiership by 33%.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
It just doesn't feel right changing the gender of the national anthem.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you think you're going to continue singing "God Save the Queen"?
I say king because that's what's required of me as a British citizen, but I say Queen under my breath. So I go, God save our gracious King Queen. God
Yes,
live our noble King Queen.
yes. I think that's right. Good and good.
Do you
and-
know, I've actually met King Prince Charles.
Have
What
you?
we saw, that was
He
quite-
really, really liked me.
Did he? Did you get good vibes from King Charles?
Good vibes only.
Yes.
No, top vibes.
Good vibes.
And-
Top
Yeah.
vibes.
And Liz,
Yeah.
you were of course one of the last people to see the Queen alive.
I know, yeah.
They can't prove anything.
No.
And the matter is closed.
What were her last words to you?
Please, no. I don't
Were
know.
you offering her some tea or something, and she just wasn't thirsty?
That's private. It's a private
a private-
matter
yes, of course.
between me and a dead monarch.
Yes, how lovely.
Okay.
What are your views on our new Prime Minister? Well, he's not new anymore. He's been here for what seems like ages in current Prime Minister
yes.
terms.
Yeah.
The third Prime Minister of the year, I think what we all need to remember is I beat him.
Yes, you did.
You did.
I was first,
Yes.
he was second, and enjoy it while you can, Rishi. Good God, what a sad little life.
He's not the people's choice. He's not the party's choice.
No,
He's not anybody's choice.
no,
Right. You know, we live in a woke world now.
we really do. We
So
really
they
do.
had to put in an Asian prime minister.
Oh, I don't think he got it just because he's.
I think that's a big part.
I think-
the time for the straight white man is well and truly over.
I mean, I'd like to take a moment actually to really think about the straight white man because they've been through so much
I
this
know.
year.
I've got to say, as the only straight white man in the booth,
It looks hard
today,
being you.
It's
Yeah.
Hard.
well, it is,
Oh,
but
yes.
Are you all right?
I'd really like this kind of empathy in my day-to-day life rather than just in a sort of hypothetical.
Is everything
sense.
all right? Are you okay as a
Directed
straight
at-
white man? Is everything okay with you? Are you?
Is it the wokies, Martin? They're getting you down,
Well, no, the wokies
stopping
aren't.
you getting jobs,
It's not really.
opportunities?
I mean, I mean,
pointing at you, going, "You're a white man."
How do you
and
feel?
racist things like
how
that.
do you feel about being the producer on this show when a disabled lesbian could be doing that job?
well, I mean, yeah, no, certainly. I think I'm.
But actually, I think it's important to realise that round this table,
Yes.
Martin is the minority.
You are the minority.
He's the only straight white male
Yes.
at this table.
Like a sort of
The
endangered
only one for me.
species. Like
Well,
a-
look, you've got Liz Truss's vote. You know,
Do you need to clarify to the listeners that I'm not white?
Eshaan Akbar is not white. Just to make that completely clear,
Yes. Yes.
it's just producer Martin and myself and Liz. But Martin's the only straight white male. So yeah, there we go.
Good.
Liz, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
What before you go? What's next for you in the future? Where do we see you next?
Where will you be for the next
we haven't
44
seen
days?
you at all.
Kind of just don't have to do very much. Watch a lot of Homes Under the Hammer, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's fun, isn't
And
it?
just enjoy the fact that I got to be Prime Minister.
Yeah.
yes, you did.
That
Be
happened.
forever remembered in history as
Yes.
a prime minister.
I was one.
It's like
And I
having
think-
won musical chairs or something. You know, you had a real.
Yes, I won. And I
at
did,
least
I
for a
won.
You
short-
won, and I think I really do think people will remember you. Maybe
As
not.
a winner.
Maybe not as a winner, but certainly in a
think-
big way.
Whenever someone goes to try and get a mortgage and can't, they'll think, "Oh yeah,
They'll think I should have worked harder.
You will
That's
forever.
what they'll
You will
think.
be an answer in a pub quiz question
Oh,
where they
pointless,
ask
isn't
people
it?
to
That's what we all want.
list off prime ministers, and you will always be on that list
Good for me.
forever.
Eternal.
Yeah, eternal. Thank
great
you.
band, great band."
Thank
See you
very
later.
much,
See you
Liz.
later, Martin.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
We are now joined in the studio by lefty, wokey, angry, nasty, communisty, Marxisty, comic,
Right.
Sooz Kempner.
I'm just like a socialist democrat, really. It's like
What's nice is she's got her own hair colour, though.
Usually blue hair, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's usually some sort
blue
of
hair.
Obnoxious vegan colour.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I mean, what do you say? Because there is an argument to be made with these blue-haired feminists that actually what they're doing is they're culturally appropriating old ladies.
right.
Yes.
It just is funny to be told that I'm offended by everything when like getting offended by hair dye.
Sorry, you sound very aggressive right now. I mean,
Right.
look, we
Very
can't start like
unnecessary.
this. If you could
I didn't.
just
I thought it was a fluff bit.
try and
piece,
bit
like-
I'm
a
so
bit.
glad to have you on the show,
Yeah.
Suze.
Well, like thanks and
Oh,
everything.
get a
but
room.
yeah.
Yes,
No,
stop it, producer
That's
Martin.
not what I was trying to...
Producer Martin, the left don't
Jeez.
even like you. So why are you
No.
cozying up to the
I
left?
think
A,
he
political
seems
in a
he
way,
seems
that's-
fine. What?
No, you don't like him because he's a centrist.
Yeah.
We know what you do to centrists. Sooz.
But this is just that thing where you can have political agreements and disagreements with people. You still get on with them.
Oh, can you? Can you?
But that's what you.
No, let's find it. We'll talk.
You didn't tell me this was what it was going to be like.
No,
so-
well, it's
she sounded triggered
largely...
then. She definitely
quite,
sounded triggered.
Yeah, I think I'm triggered. No, you're right. Do you know what?
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine,
It
it's
is
fine,
fine.
fine.
It is fine. We're here to talk about bits of the year.
Okay.
Suze, we've had some wonderful, wonderful guests. But obviously, when it gets near to Christmas,
I'm surprised she made it here. 'Cause I thought she might be glued somewhere.
Because of
I'm sorry, Eshaan.
Because who cares about the environment?
It's very funny.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no one does really, do they? It's a
No,
myth.
I genuinely do.
Just clogging up the M25.
Yes, exactly. So, Suze, what we want to talk about is various things that have happened in the last few months.
Sure.
The World Cup.
Ah,
in
yes.
Qatar.
Oh,
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Mashallah.
What are you doing?
Arabic. Oh,
Why are you doing that?
I like it.
because it was in Qatar. Isn't it amazing? You know, a lot of people are very critical of the World Cup in Qatar. But actually, the stadiums were amazing.
Yes,
Yeah,
the stadium's
I mean-
So
really
actually,
lot of-
having quite lax labour laws and not very many workers' rights creates good things.
See, that you could say the same about Egypt's
The pyramids?
Yeah, the pyramids, isn't
Right?
it?
They look amazing.
And maybe that's where we're going wrong, because sometimes I look at architecture in this country.
Yeah.
You know, some of the
It's quite
council
basic.
houses, not very nice.
Yeah.
Maybe if we got, you know, as you say, just to sort of lax the labour laws a bit, we could have
Listen,
nicer
if
houses.
you didn't have workers' rights, I think the trains would run.
Oh my goodness! I think you're right.
Do you know what I mean?
think you're right. That is
I think
so true.
just to sort of counter that somewhat. I mean, I don't think the criticism was ever at the quality of the craftsmanship of the stadiums, more rather the amount of people that died.
Oh,
in
Martin.
But if you
Six,
truly
six and a
believe-
half- 6,500 reported
but
deaths.
if you believe in something, you are willing to die. So they wanted to create these great stadiums, and unfortunately, some of them, fell by the wayside.
I mean, if it was that bad, Suze, why didn't they go on strike?
Yes.
Do you know why our workers are able to strike? And why? Do you know why we have weekends off from work in this country?
Because we don't have a
Because
work
it's
ethic.
a 5-day week.
Do
And
you know
Sunday's
why
the
that exists?
day of
That
the
is
Lord.
because of unions.
Or the Bible.
Easy.
It's because of the Bible.
It's the Bible, because Sunday is the day of
Rest.
God.
Yes.
Yeah, where we think about God.
Yeah.
And that's why it. So actually, if you say the unions did it, or did the unions steal it from God?
Well, I don't actually believe in God, but I do believe in the
well.
work the unions do. And I want to put it out there that I fully support the strikes.
Right.
I'm sure that if you were having your pay not in line with inflation, you maybe couldn't afford to live, you would want your pay to be fair. Sorry, I'm finding it. I'm getting looked at like I'm an arsehole
I just want to blow your mind a bit here, because I don't know if you know her. A really wonderful journalist, Isabel Oakeshott.
I do. I am very aware of her
Yes,
work.
and she made a really good point the other day. I was listening to her, and I thought, that is so true. That is not talked about enough. She made a really good point that the thing about these nurses is they're not angels. They're normal people, and they drink tea all the time.
Oh my God! And the thing
They
is
drink tea all the time.
thing that people don't realise is tea is imported to the UK from former colonial states.
Feel like
so if you are a nurse, you're actually pro-colonialism, and you're drinking this tea, making people work their fingers to the bone in poor conditions in Asia to pick the tea that you want to drink, when really you should be doing your work. But no, you want to go on strike.
Sooz, I've always
clapped
thought
for you.
It might be quite useful for me to join a union. I feel quite alone sometimes.
Yeah,
and I don't have support in the...
You are in a union, the Great Britain.
Martin,
what a great union that
Are
is.
you
go to
freelancer?
HR.
Because there's Unite. You can join Unite.
It's not a traditional payment scheme that we have. I've sort of been
really?
gradually getting poorer as
That
the show.
is that true?
exposure,
Are you
isn't
getting
it?
poorer? Are you getting poorer?
No, the
Do you
rich get
think-
richer, so I'm getting wealthier.
We're
I've actually
doing just fine.
I've got quite a good investment
because
portfolio.
we work hard.
Hard, absolutely.
Yes.
And we've got investment portfolios, and we manage our money. Listen, if you wanted me to feed my family off a 37p pack of pasta, I can do it, right? So if you go to Aldi, you can do your family shopping for
Just do that
£5.
pasta.
Salt and
You
pepper.
can have a really nice meal just with pasta. You just add butter and saffron.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Sometimes I think it's easiest to just let it just sort of wash over you.
I'm
and not
kind of
sort
at a loss. I thought I was coming on here to just kind of make some pithy comments about some stuff that happened.
No, listen, we don't need to just talk about the strikes.
We are quite short on pith at the moment, so if you've got any, that would be fun.
Okay, this is a fun question. Let's lighten up a bit. Okay.
Sure.
Right. So, December the 12th was, of course, the third anniversary of Boris Johnson's oven-ready deal. Oh, absolutely.
He got Brexit done.
He did.
He's a man of his word.
How's that working out?
Well, really, really, really well. I mean, the thing about oven ready is...
What did that mean?
Well, Suze, if it's oven ready, it's ready to go in the oven, isn't it? You don't say something's oven ready when it's coming out. No, you say oven ready because it's got to go in and it's got to
But
bake.
what was the oven? And
it's baking.
These are...
I think it was a sort of
It's
nonsense
baking.
buzzword.
Yeah, this is
try
just
and
Suze,
repeating
sell a
stuff from
slogan.
2019, which has been proven to be...
Suze, have you heard of Australia and New Zealand? No.
Yes,
Because of Brexit, we were able to open trade routes
Yes,
with them,
there
which
you
we
go.
didn't have
Didn't
before.
know about that before, did you?
Didn't know that before,
You
did
just
you?
knew that from... Oh, maybe you heard about it if you watched Neighbours, but not everyone watches Neighbours. Especially not
Or
anymore
Home and
because
Away.
it's finished.
I mean, we've lost billions of pounds by not being in the EU.
Yeah.
With
all
trade.
right, can I ask you a question? Would you rather be...
Yeah, I love it, would you rather?
Would you rather be
Yes.
a rich servant or a poor master?
What does that even
Oh,
mean?
What
that's a
the-
great
Yeah,
question.
that's right.
Everyone likes being a master, don't they?
Yeah, everyone wants to be a master.
No one wants to be a servant.
Wants to be, don't
But
want
if
to be
I was a
rich
poor
servant.
master, then I'd just be like that guy, Lord Fulford, whose house was falling apart. Remember him?
Yeah, still had a big house.
But it's still a
didn't he?
lord, isn't
No, but
it?
yeah, still a lord.
But it was cold and they only had one telly and
I mean,
the mum
imagine
threw it in the
that-
But he
lake.
still
Imagine
ticks along
having
on
a
the
big
form.
house but being working class.
Oh.
You know, let's get this
I
into
think the
perspective.
problem is that we're not really entirely sure what we're the master of.
No.
Our own destiny.
Yes, our own destiny.
And our own sovereignty.
We've broken free from the shackles of the EU.
Yes.
With all its horrid little, human rights laws for
Oh,
starters.
for goodness sake.
Come on, no. And we're overruling, we're doing our own thing, we're building our own path. I mean, it's just
Surely
beautiful.
you want self-determination. You want to be able to decide the things you want to do for your own country.
Martin, there are other jobs.
I mean, well, yeah, we've got a sort of familial
Excuse me, he's
link
my
here.
brother-in-law.
I
Don't
think
don't
Jane
try
would
and
be
do
very
that.
happy if I... Although
just-
I have thought about doing a sort of evening, maybe some, get a little extra cash. now,
Yeah,
so
I honestly think you could just get the hell out of here.
Oh, like Brexit?
Martin will not be Brexiting.
That would
Not
make me a
allowed.
poor master, wouldn't it? I'd have my...
No,
Autonomy
Martin,
and-
not you. Come on, no.
It's not for you
No,
because you
that's
don't know
not
what you're
for you.
doing.
I mean, I didn't know that this was what the show was. I kind of...
Don't try and pretend to me that you don't listen to the show. I mean, everyone listens to this show. Sometimes they listen because they love it. Sometimes they listen because they hate it. And do you know what? I don't mind that because I'm non-censored.
I think you're getting a good introduction to what this is.
Eshaan,
Yes?
very excited about this bit. I think you're going to talk to us about the happy holidays.
Well, yes, of course, and I'm sure Sooz will also attest to this, that this is, people often refer to this period of time as the Christmas holidays.
Oh, yes.
It's not particularly
Yeah.
inclusive, is it?
What?
It's not
Oh,
particularly inclusive. So, as you know, me as a diversity hire, I think it's very important that we wish our listeners and one another Happy Holidays. This way you cover all the big holidays that happen.
No, sorry.
Hanukkah,
No.
Kwanzaa,
No.
Yeah.
probably Eid.
No.
Well, it also covers like New Year.
New Year, absolutely.
Sorry, Eshaan, I'm going to have to disagree with you here. I'm going to speak for me and Martin, the Christians in the room.
Wait, I don't think...
Now, as Christians, we are now a minority in this country.
Yes.
Okay? We are a dying minority. This was a Christian country. It's always been a Christian country.
What country is it now?
Now,
A Muslim country.
all over the place. Who knows?
Right.
We've got to fight for it. We've got to
How often
fight
do you
for
go to
our
church?
Christian. I don't think that's relevant.
It's not so much about the going with you, is it? Harriet?
It
It's
just makes me.
knowing it's there.
It just makes me so sad, and I respect you, Eshaan. I respect your views,
Yes.
but in this case, I'm sorry, but you're sounding very wokey, and I feel like the wokies may have got you here.
Well, no, I don't think they have. It's just, and Sooz, you'll understand this.
Well, but Bing Crosby literally had a song called Happy Holiday that
Yes.
was
Oh, that's a good one.
from the
That's very good,
50s.
yes.
Yeah, it's in no way like some new woke term.
Yeah, and that, what's his name? We're all going on a summer holiday.
Oh, Cliff.
Yeah, I mean, that's a different thing,
that's
but
different.
fine.
That's different. Bing can have his little song. I like that song.
It was
fine.
the theme tune to his Christmas special for about 20 years.
All right, all
Yeah.
right, you know,
Can't
details,
argue
details.
with
But
that.
my point is that if we're talking about Christmas in a general term, let's not forget about baby Jesus. That's what's important.
What, the Palestinian man?
Sorry, what?
The Palestinian man, Jesus.
It's well.
What are you saying?
It's just that I suppose.
Why are you saying that? Why are you making this about Israel and Palestine?
I'm not. I'm saying that Jesus is Palestinian. Famously.
He's not famously. I've seen the pictures actually.
He does look very white in the
He has
pictures.
wait, and he's got
Like,
little.
I mean-
He's got a little ginger beard.
And he's particularly like ripped, isn't he? He's
yeah.
like he's a
He was
done a
stacked.
lot.
He was stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A stacked Palestinian.
He was no, he was a muscly, ginger beard, thin nosed man.
sort of Celtic.
Right, everyone, let's move away from baby Jesus. What are we all looking forward to in 2023?
Okay, I see myself as quite an optimist, and
Yes.
Oh, good.
Thank you for having me on the show and
Thank
allowing
you
me
for
to
coming on.
talk about this. I think that the house of cards that this government has been building is gradually collapsing.
Yes.
I don't know what replaces that, but I can't help but think that this is finite. Things don't just get exponentially worse. Governments don't exponentially get away with stuff forever. And I think it is coming down, and I'm looking forward to seeing that happen.
The
Right,
dismantling of it's sort of
That's
almost
horrible.
a terrorist
That's really
organisation
Well,
in our midst.
yeah, you know.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's I don't even know what to say to that. Producer Martin, what are you looking forward to in 2023?
Well, you know, I mean, I always like it when I take my dogs to the park, and I think I didn't go so many times this year, and it's the simple things. But are you talking about something more political? Is that what you wanted?
Yeah,
Wanted
well,
more of a-
yeah, I mean, we are a political podcast, yes.
Yeah. Okay. In that case,
But you can talk. I mean, you can. It's nice to hear about your dogs again.
But it's sort of quite like Keir Starmer. He seems like a good chap. He sent me a box of Lion bars in the post. So it was,
So he does. He's been quite fond of you when he's come on the podcast.
yes, yeah.
I just think it'd be quite good if he waited till his hair dried before he put the mousse on it. Just saying.
Oh,
Martin, are you going to tell him that she said that?
I probably won't. No.
Ishaan, what are you looking forward to in
Well,
2023?
I've got a social one and a personal one. if that's all right.
I love
okay.
it.
Yes,
I love
so
it.
socially, I'm looking forward to the UK showcasing its empathetic, kind side, because I anticipate we're going to open more food banks and more warm banks.
Oh, that's so lovely. It's so warming when another one of those opens. isn't
That's
it?
the kind of
And
thing
now
a caring-
it's not just food banks, it's food pantries.
Food
now.
pantries.
Yes.
So I just
Yes,
feel like over the
wonderful. We're
next
such a good
year,
country.
we're going to see more of those open up. And
Yeah.
what a beautiful thing that is.
Oh, lovely.
What a caring and lovely country.
I'm not sure that's the sign of a progressive and.
Oh, sorry. Do you
kind.
want people to starve to death? No, I don't think
prefer
so.
people
No.
to?
Everyone likes a pantry, Martin.
Everyone likes a pantry, and they
Everyone
like
likes a
being
pantry.
warm. So it's nice to be able to go somewhere where you can warm yourself up. And personally, I think we might talk about this off air. I've actually got a little holiday booked with
That's
What?
not. No. No.
Is there
What are
something?
you talking
What?
about?
I'm going on holiday
She's going on a writing retreat, but it's not of.
to Northumberland.
No,
No one can stop you from going to Northumberland.
No
but
one likes it. No one likes it when you talk about Jane. Okay.
Is this what this radio show is like?
It is large. It's like 50% this, and then the rest is telling me that I'm wrong.
Oh, anyway, I think it's time to talk about what I'm looking forward to.
What are you looking forward to?
What I'm looking forward to is seeing the fruits that Brexit will bring.
Oh,
Yes.
so many
Like
fruits.
what?
So many things.
Pomegranates.
Just
Bendy
more
bananas.
trade deals with exciting new
Persimmons.
countries like Australia.
Watermelons.
Watermelons, yes.
We could get those anyway. But
Guava.
Putting
I think
Ireland
we're
in
just
its
naming
place,
fruits
but I
now,
think
aren't we?
Ireland have got a bit over
Custard
over the top.
apples.
yeah, all things you could have got
Custard apples.
while we were still in the EU.
And no, sorry,
Conference
the-
pears.
The supermarket shelves were a lot more stocked. I
true.
seem to remember.
Bramley apples.
that's not true, Sooz.
No, it's true.
No, that's
It's-
not true.
Golden delicious apples.
I think it's quite bad still in Northern Ireland at the moment.
Yeah.
Honeydew melons.
Yes, but they always get upset, don't they?
Gala melon.
Yeah, all things you could get.
Now, look, I have to draw that to an end now. That's enough for 1 week. That's our Christmas special. We'll be taking a little break in Non-Censored, and then we'll be back in a few weeks. So keep an eye out. I want to
Winter
thank
special.
all of my guests. I've got Sooz Kempner, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Eshaan Akbar,
Happy winter holidays.
producer Martin,
One's
also Nadine Dorries, thank you very much for coming on.
Hanukkah.
Liz Truss, thank you very much for coming on.
Divine.
Also, Rosie Holt, thank you very much for coming. And Brendan Murphy and Ed Morrish, thank you very much. This is Non-Censored, and I am Harriet Langley-Swindon, signing off on 2022.